Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. Our major stories tonight: the northwest and southwest regions gripped by fear and uncertainty as separatist fighters enforces a strict lockdown, disrupting education, healthcare and economic activities. You'll be getting updates from our reporters on the field. Meantime, calm is gradually returning to Wototo village in Cameroon's southwest region after a fierce gun battle between separatists and security forces prompted residents to flee for their safety. The violence, which occurred on Saturday, resulted in the death of a gendarme officer and a bike rider, leaving the community shaken. Many inhabitants who fled during the attack are now slowly returning to their homes. Also in sports, Cameroon's indomitable Lions suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat to Cape Verde's Blue Sharks at the Praia Stadium today. Despite a spirited performance, the Lions couldn't find the back of the net, while the Sharks' lone goal proved decisive. Those are our top stories tonight. The news in full in a jiffy. Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television for presentation. I am Immaculate Fogwe. A heart-wrenching case of child abuse has taken a new turn as the mother of a 7-year-old Mercy arrives in Douala, determined to rescue her daughter from her stepsister known as Moti Rachel, who allegedly chained the young girl up. Contrary to initial reports, the mother reveals that Moti Rachel is not Mercy's aunt, but rather her stepsister. Malagloy's report sheds light on the mother's emotional plea to take her daughter back home. Her report.
Desperate, in shock and confused, her mind is consumed by her child's absence as she grapples with the fate of the innocent girl. Sakwe Franca is the biological mother to the 7-year-old girl who was wrapped in chains by her stepsister, Moti Rachel, in the Japoma Kolbong neighborhood, Douala 3.
Me fine. No naughty, no do me. I know I ever grace.
1 week after the incident occurred, Mercy's mother only got the information on the girl's maltreatment through a neighbor.
Show me that phone. I see how they don't tie pikin. I start crying. They say, man, they turn the pikin. As they turn the pikin, I see his face. I say, I'm a pikin that.
Contrary to the story that the perpetrator is the victim's aunt, Sakwe Franca, the biological mother, says she is the 5th wife to Rachel's father and bore 5 children, including Mercy, who was taken to Douala without her consent at the age of 3.
I want go wash clothes them. I want come, my pikin no dey house. I ask him, Papa, I say, big sister, don't carry you go. I say, the carry my pikin go, say, well, no make arrangement.
Etwe Derek Etonde, who followed his mother to Douala, expressed shock over the incident.
My stepsister tied my younger sister, so I didn't believe it or I didn't understand.
In the quest to free Mercy from the stepsister's hand and show her the family love she missed for the past 4 years, Derek recounts their ordeal.
I was searching for money. I want to go and meet my mother. We look for money for transport to come and see her, to see how we can take her back home.
They are internally displaced, whose houses were burnt down as a result of the Anglophone crisis in the southwest region.
We were there in Bakole, Western Bakosi village, so our house was burned there. We run to Konye by around 2021. So we live presently in Konye, that Dio's old house. We live there.
However, the journey to Douala ended in praise as they were able to meet with Mercy, who is at the social welfare for security reasons, while Rachel is still in detention at Bonanja Court of First Instance for investigations.
Now we talk education. The first days of the new academic year in the city of Douala began amidst heavy rainfall, rendering access to most neighborhoods particularly difficult for students. The Douala 3 and 5 subdivisions, students had to brave the poor and inundated roads to ensure their presence in school. However, despite these hurdles, classes effectively resumed, as Ese Luciliengu reports.
In the outskirts of Douala, the start of the new academic year recorded challenges encountered by students on their way to school on day one. Several neighborhoods, particularly in Pekaveng and Pekaveng, were flooded following heavy downpour. Adding to this difficulty is a deplorable condition of roads leading to schools and also the dilapidated state of some schools. At Government Bilingual Nursery School Ngoma, Pekaveng, for instance, the state of the buildings is a call for concern.
This year, my goals are to have my GC. For me to do that, I need to focus and concentrate on the main subjects I'm going to offer.
While at Government Bilingual High School, Ninong, Brazzaville, in the Douala 3 municipality, the school premises were inundated, pushing students and teachers to brave the odds.
From what we did in our last class,
the vice principal of the school raises concerns about children who are still behind.
There are some parents who are still lagging behind, and some are asking this. Elections are coming up, we only register our students after elections. We are telling them that classes have started.
Elsewhere at GS Kemelo, preparations had begun weeks before the new academic year to ensure that this year's syllabus is respected.
Before the start of this academic year, the teachers were responsible to be in school, clean up the whole school compound. They were also briefed on things, instructions that were given by the government for the start of this academic year. We also admonish parents who have left the Anglophone zones because of the crisis that was there to come.
Schools in the Douala 3 and 5 subdivisions have taken measures to ensure that the environment is safe and free of incidents.
We have done literature in English and chemistry. I am very happy because I am knowing that next year I'm going to Form 2.
And in St. Julien, reopening day today is quite amazing because from 7:30, students have been entering here with so much enthusiasm. The teachers are there, classes have started effectively.
The back to school whistle has been blown and everyone is now looking forward to their achievements at the end of the year. And still on our back to school page, the discipline master of Government Bilingual High School Bepanda, known as Boandi Motapon, has garnered public attention for wearing the school uniform. This move aligns with the school slogan, teaching by example. Annabella was at Government Bilingual High School Bepanda today and now reports on what she heard and saw.
The discipline master of Government Bilingual High School Bepanda Douala dresses in the institution's uniform as he welcomes the students and parents at the gate to school from day one of school resumption. The DM, Mr. Boandi Motapon, explains that teachers should be able to preach by example.
Nous appliquons la méthode pédagogique de learning by doing.
According to the vice principal, the Government Bilingual High School Bepanda is one of those public institutions in the city reputed for discipline and excellence.
We teach with examples. So that 3 years ago, the principal came up with that idea so that if we're controlling uniforms for students, we should first of all be showing them how they should dress.
Students are expected to arrive on time and be dressed correctly. Sky blue jackets over dark blue skirts or trousers, plus white pair of socks and white tennis shoes.
We teach with examples. So that 3 years ago, the principal came up with that idea so that if we're controlling uniforms for students, we should first of all be showing them how they should dress. That's why
the school authorities urge parents to partner with them in the proper upbringing of the children.
We call on parents to be partners with us, to help the children so that they can do the right things as we want them to do here.
Nous avons déjà des enfants ici qui sont à l'âge pubère. Nous ne voulons pas de bar.
As students resume classes for the academic year 2025-2026 at Lycée Bepanda, the school authorities here say punishing students is not the way forward. The real deal is showing the right path to follow by being a good example.
Oui, effectivement, avant de punir les élèves, il faudrait qu'on prêche par l'exemple.
Staff Lady Annabella reporting there. In the same vein, students at Collège d'Enseignement Secondaire in Mabombe, Dinpe Village, Konjok Subdivision, the Kam Division, Litra region of Cameroon, have started the new academic year in deplorable conditions. The school's dilapidated classrooms bear a striking resemblance to a poultry farm, raising concerns about the learning environment. In contrast, Government Bilingual High School Konjok has welcomed a handful of students, significantly short of its expected 750 students, as Innocent Aze tells us.
This is not a poultry farm, but Collège d'Enseignement Secondaire in Mabombe Didipe village in Konjok subdivision, in Kam division of the Litowa region. A secondary school created by the state decades ago and abandoned in the hands of the villagers. It is a new school year, yet students are accommodated in classrooms without ceiling, a good roof, no windows, doors, floors, and solid blackboards.
C'est la rentrée scolaire. Regardez à quel état notre école se trouve. Les herbes partout. Et ça des classes sales. Les bâtiments ne sont pas bien construits. Les fenêtres et les portes sont gâtées. Les bancs cassés.
Teaching and learning process takes place in a precarious condition, with the students exposed to physical and health risks.
Nous pouvons attraper le palu, des maladies.
Looking like a hunting ground, the bush engulfed school boasts of only 3 permanent teachers.
Nous avons 3 enseignants permanents.
The principal's office is also a cause for concern. If the school still operates today, it is thanks to the efforts of the Parents Teachers Association.
Depuis que l'État nous a envoyés ici, l'État n'a pas encore réagi par rapport aux infrastructures. Ce sont les parents qui font les efforts pour que nous ayons cette appli.
Students wish they could study in modern infrastructures like their peers in Etodzi, Yaoundé. At Government's Bilingual High School in Konjok, out of about 750 students expected, only 110 students answered present on the first day of the new school year, with the educational establishment engulfed by white vegetation.
Et vous-même, vous avez vu les résultats. Donc, dites à vos camarades qui sont encore au quartier que c'est au premier jour qu'on prépare.
To the school principal, the state of the infrastructure is not the matter, but maximum attendance for early preparation for end-of-year examinations, so that the school does not perform poorly again.
Le train de la rentrée est déjà lancé. Et à la fin, ils n'auront que leurs yeux pour pleurer, surtout pour les classes d'examen où le travail n'a pas été, les résultats n'ont pas été très bons. Je leur ai donc demandé de redoubler d'ardeur au travail.
A well-received message by those who answered present on day one.
Nous allons tout faire. Nous allons étudier pour améliorer la situation de notre école.
Students and teachers here, including parents, implore the government for modern structures, more teachers, and passable roads so as to effectively execute their duties.
Now we talk something else. Bamenda, the northwest regional capital, has been brought to a standstill by separatist-imposed lockdown, turning the city into a ghost town. The lockdown enforced by factions of the separatist movement has paralyzed daily life, affecting education, health, and the right to life, as Boostella tells us.
Good morning, Bamenda Regional Hospital.
At the emergency unit of Bamenda's Regional Hospital, the phone rings almost every minute. What will be a normal working day is instant silence. Schools remain closed, businesses shut, and families trapped indoors.
Being a nursing mother, my child is due for vaccination this week. Yeah, but there is no way for me to take the child to the hospital. I live at Alabukom. And I'm supposed to vaccinate this child at the level of the regional hospital. There is no way, no bikes, no vehicles to take me there. It's really a sad situation.
Across the Northwest region, lockdowns mean missed lessons, missed medical care, and delayed emergencies.
You can see that the number of people coming to the hospital on a normal day like this Tuesday, you would have seen a big crowd around. It's really challenging. And patients suffer the physical access to the hospital. Because how do they come? And most of the time on these days, we receive a lot of emergencies. And at times some come and then we have death upon arrival because they could not come, or either because they did not know. And that is why we have had this number, 677 40 12 12. That is the number we have for the population. That when there is a case, a critical case, just call this number and the ambulance services will come for your rescue.
Doctors on call say their services are available 24/7, but appeal for locals to prioritize calling only during emergencies.
I also want to tell the population that it's a hospital working line. So we appreciate if every call which comes in will be a call of necessity, not you calling to extend victims.
As Bamenda remains caught between silence and survival, ordinary citizens are left asking, how long must their education, health and livelihoods remain hostage to conflict?
In the same vein, most schools across the town of Boya and the southwest region have still not received students, as lockdown imposed by separatist fighters still scares many parents from sending their children to school. The governor of the southwest region, during an enlarged meeting with both military and civilian authorities of the region, called on them to intensify the fight for a more effective back to school in that region. Rex Afon reports.
There has been an improvement in movements in some parts of Boya from what it was on Monday.
Which killed gendarmes of We are sorry for that mix-up. And now to one of our major lead stories. The people of Wututu village in Boya subdivision of the southwest region have begun returning after many fled following Saturday's gun attack by separatist fighters which killed a gendarme officer and a bike rider. Davison Maimo just returned from Wututu village and now tells us about the situation over there. Hi Maimo, what's the situation over there?
Life is gradually returning to Wututu village in Boya subdivision, Fako division of the southwest region, after Saturday, the 6th incident that occurred right behind me, this way, leading towards Bojongo area, where of course a gendarme officer and a bike rider is said to have been shot dead. The incident actually caused panicking within this entire environment, and many of the people flee for safety.
We're in the market, so we heard something like a gunshot, so people were afraid. They left their market pieces and wound behind for safety.
I'm still traumatized. At 79 years, 5 months, I'm not a child, I'm an old man. I'm not what I used to be. I find it difficult to go behind my house to ease myself because of the fear of what might happen. And this is not a question of the military or a question of the boys. It is a question of simple understanding. Otherwise, people like ourselves, I may die before my time just because of when I heard the gunshot yesterday.
Chief Elate John of Wututu stated that some people left or fled the village on the same day the incident occurred.
It was surprising, and everybody was panicking about it. And some, up to now that I'm talking, some have gone out, but the majority is still around.
Nonetheless, the chief had to stay behind after his wife and children also left the village out of fear for the unknown.
My wife, we have run the village for the first time that they attacked us. But for now, I will know more because of my age. I must be with my people.
The people of Wututu say they do not want to go back to what they experienced in the past years.
If we are going back to this situation of gunshot, please, whoever hears me, whoever knows the value of peace, let peace come back to Wututu. We need peace. We need peace.
And they are praying and hoping that the powers that be may intervene for peace to return in Wututu village. I'm Davison Maimo for Equinoxe television, live in Wututu village, Boya subdivision Fako Division of the Southwest Region.
Thanks a bunch, Davison Maimo. And away from that, Cameroon's political analysts have expressed disappointment with Philemon Yang's presidency at the United Nations General Assembly, describing it as a missed opportunity. Despite his extensive diplomatic experience and background in governance, Yang's one-year term seems to have had little or no visible impact on the people of Cameroon, as Fomiam Songsander tells us.
We commemorate 30 years since the adoption of the Beijing Declaration.
The former Prime Minister and diplomat Ambassador Philemon Yang officially leaves the United Nations General Assembly presidency on September the 10th, 2025. Across Cameroon, no one seemed to be able to effectively pinpoint what benefit his presidency has brought to his people and the nation. Professor Batengene Azil, an international relations expert, view his mandate as a missed opportunity for Cameroon, which should have effectively benefited from the possibility to push for resolutions beyond ordinary deliberations, a regret which Adrien Ibako describes as an inherent systemic failure.
There's nothing he has brought back home. We as well watched the interview of one of the presidential candidates who has also served with the government. It's Issa Cheroma. You could hear him saying clearly that as a communication minister, everything he said regarding the crisis and the affairs of this country were not his own words. He mainly reported or became a transmitter to what was given to him to say to the people. So this is just a clear example of somebody who holds position of power and has no power to affect that position.
He goes further to blame it on the regime that invested Philemon Yang and what he says is the weak geopolitical voice of African government.
We are all in Cameroon. We know how the system works. We know how the Cameroonians are living as foreigners in their own country. We understand the position of Cameroon at the level of the United Nations, Africa as a general, including the position of the AU and the position of the ECOWAS and all the SMAC zones that are representing certain sectors of Africa. They don't have any say at the level of the United Nations. So imagine if we do not have a veto seat and we cannot make decisions in our own country.
Like Adrien Ibako, Professor Aziz says the long-standing non-interference external policy of President Paul Biya has surely greatly contributed to Philemon Yang's results as the 74th United Nations General Assembly presidency.
Chair of the Bureau of the
The founder of Bangolan village in Gokitunja division, northwest region of Cameroon, has called on the subjects to give peace a chance. Fon Chafa Isaac the 11th made a call during a gathering that brought together some natives of Bangolan village in Obala, central region of Cameroon. The gathering came on the heels of a traditional ritual that was done in the village denouncing Senator Chafa Isaac as founder of Bangolan village. Smajikan Gabriel has more.
Some natives of Bangolan village in Babesi subdivision, Ngoketunja division of the Northwest region, carrying out a traditional rite. According to one of them, they no longer have a leader.
That is going to revamp Banda, organize the Bangolan people. The Supreme Commander is saying he distances his responsibility from that of the former form. He is not responsible. So anything happening in Obala in the name of the former fund is not in the name of Bangolan. In the name of Bangolan. Either you are with me or you are with my enemy.
The natives accuse the fund of removing an ancestral stone planted in the palace over 100 years and poured salt in all sacred places in the village. And since then, called to the village for traditional rites to be done, he has never returned. Reasons, they say the throne is vacant. The villagers say the ritual took place recently, but the fund rejects this information.
That video you are talking about is manipulation. That is the video that was done 9 years ago when the crisis in my village started.
Due to the sour relationship between some of the natives and the fund, over the weekend, the fund held a gathering that brought together some sons and daughters of his village. It was an opportunity for the fund to officially request for pardon from his subjects.
We cannot continue to live like that. We must learn to forgive each other. For peace to reign,
there must be love. And the precondition for peace is love. When there is love, there is peace. When there is peace, there is development. Any of these elements you take away, the village will not evolve. As their leader, I'm not God. Even the Son of God, Jesus Christ, was persecuted. This meeting cannot hold now in the village for one simple reason. I want everybody to be free to attend.
The gathering that took place out of Bangolam village in the Northwest region served as an occasion for Fon Shafa Isaac the 11th to announce his imminent return to Bangolam village in the coming days to rebuild the burnt palace and start developing the village, which has been crippled by the ongoing Anglophone crisis as well as internal squabbles.
Now this in sports, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon were defeated by Cape Verde with a 1-0 score in an event that took place at the Praia Stadium a few minutes ago. That's what put a cap to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for your keen attention. Coming up next in a few minutes is the 8 p.m. news with Irish Gonomala. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye for now.